Super Bowl champion.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis, presented by Verizon, the #1 network in Milwaukee, on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and on the free Odyssey app.
Good midday and welcome in. This is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. Packers win. Shohei Ohtani is the best player in the history of Earth at anything ever. My name is Mitch Nellis, and joining me now, the one, the only, we are not together, but in spirit we are, Mason, the real kicker, Crosby.
The former kicker, yes. Again, I posted something on Instagram, a shout out. We could just make this whole 2 hours on the kicking game in the NFL.
We could.
Like good, bad, all the things. Because yesterday was a day. Brandon Aubrey is the best kicker of all time. I mean, 5+ 60-yard field goals already?
He's
in
nuts.
a short period of time. Like his start to his career has to be one of the best ever, is the best ever. I mean, nobody else has ever kicked that many long kicks. Lucas Havrisik, little breaking news. He's going to join the show in the second hour.
Whoa!
Yep, just doing a little.
Kickers.
I'm sure they got back. They got back pretty late last night. After their crazy travel day. So, Victory Monday probably going on. They're just working out, doing their thing. I
think they got the day off. I think LaFleur gave them
that's
the day
Victory
off.
Monday, yeah.
Right,
but you're still expected. Victory Monday, day off is never really a day off. It's like take the day off unless you're and if you're not like a 10-year vet, there's an expectation to come in, get a workout in, get your flush, in, watch some film, meet with your coach. You go in, you're a pro, you get your stuff done. So yeah, Lucas is in the building. He'll be out of the building around 1:00, so we'll have him on after the show. I posted a video. I got the ball right here. If you're watching on YouTube, and we jokingly, just funny answers. Like, what do I do with this now? Do I find some white out and just put take that and I take this off the franchise record and just put personal best up there,
or do you use Sharpie and write franchise record second longest field goal?
Yeah, exactly. You can word it a certain way where it's still a record for the second longest field goal.
Listen, bro, it's still really good.
You know what you have to do. You have to put franchise record at and then put the elevation of Minnesota instead of the elevation of Arizona.
Yeah.
Because you were 300 feet closer to sea level in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
You were
it makes a difference.
Yeah, you were 830 above sea level.
How long was the kick in Dallas? Didn't you have one in Dallas that was 57?
Dallas was it was 58, I believe, as well.
Was it also?
Yeah,
okay.
All right, that's what I thought.
But it was after this one, so
doesn't
you don't get multiple.
No,
all right, you just tied it.
Not two balls, one kick.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm okay. I think I still hold a few records there in Green Bay, so we're doing all right.
Yeah.
40 something 50+ yard field goals. I was looking at one. It does. I have. It's like a record for the longest kick in Lambeau Field in December. It's stop it. So I hate getting those records whittled all the way down.
Breaking news. How's your kick at sea level though, bro?
I have the longest in college football.
Yeah,
you know it.
Yeah,
you know it. Yeah, y'all brought that up last year. I think that was something that y'all really enjoyed.
I think
the long rundown of 58-yard field goal, longest kick ever at sea level in college football.
I'm pretty sure you brought it up in a way. We didn't find it was at sea level. You were
come on.
You were like, I do hold the because we were looking. I have a
big record.
There was a high school in Texas, right? What didn't you have the record, or you had a long one in high school or something? And then we looked it up, and it was
third longest or something.
And then there was a guy who had a 65-yarder. It was ridiculous.
And now
someone I think in high school in Texas had a 67.
Yeah, that's what it was. Something like that.
Crazy.
Yeah.
All right, this is the Mason Crosby Show. 414-677-1250 is the Nicolay Law Fan talking text line. We are in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Want to welcome all of our new affiliates to the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Yes.
We're going to give some shout outs throughout the show. But we got to start with what did they do? They scored 27. What do they do when they score 27? They win football games. Our Green Bay Packers are now 4-0 when they score 27, 0-1-1 when they don't.
Yeah. I mean,
science.
That 27
it's
number,
science,
it's
bro.
it's just science. I'm trying to think of if there's anything else. What's funny is, again, on this ball, the Vikings scored 27, but
okay. But yeah,
we scored 33
yeah.
because we were really good in 2011. But anyway, yesterday's game was weird.
Yes,
I mean,
yes,
that game just feel weird all around. I mean, Micah Parsons did exactly what we talked about last week. Like, this was the game. And he was like, why are they single? Like, why aren't they double teaming me? You don't double team me, I will get 3 sacks.
Love it.
Because
Needed
you
it
have
too.
to. They had 3 guys on him on that last drive when they were trying to score a touchdown to win the game. Like, they were pulling the guard over. They had to get chip in. I mean, it was insanity. I saw the right guard for the Arizona Cardinals he was probably dog cussing his right tackle a few times. Just like, you literally whiffed. Like, what are you doing?
You got to do better than
play
that.
better ball. But, still just not turning the ball over to high, not doing anything like crazy, but, they're finding a way to win. And like with the adversity, the late flights, going to Arizona, again, weird things happen. I told you, weird things happen going to Arizona.
Yes,
like, it's not just on the ball field, not just playing the game. Like, they couldn't even get the plane out of Green Bay.
Yeah.
And Tommy knows who's responsible. It's all of Cudahy.
Tommy's got the inside info.
I did.
I mean,
we had that beat 2 hours beforehand. I could have probably broken some news on Twitter. I
Definitely could have.
I got to keep my sources to me, though.
Yeah, keep them tight. Don't break that.
I hooked it up with you guys. I hated 6.5 after hearing that. But I do think that this game was a step in the right direction for Green Bay. I truly do believe that. And I have this quote here from Matt LaFleur that I think further validates that point. Here is Matt LaFleur after the game.
Scared money don't make money. So, like, sometimes you got to shoot. And when you have confidence in your players, you can't allow something. I realize, I think that was a much different situation where we were on the field in Dallas versus where we were here, versus the struggles that we were having moving the football. So it was a great job by our guys going out there and executing. And if you don't have confidence in your guys, you don't do it. But I got a lot of confidence in our quarterback. I thought our line was doing a pretty good job in protection. I know our receivers can win versus bad leverages, which we had right there. And those guys made a hell of a play.
Scared money don't make money. A great line from LaFleur there, Mason, to have the confidence. Well, you have to buy it. It happened. It did happen.
It worked.
It was exactly what the Packers needed to do. They needed to win that football game. They did not do that same tactic against Dallas, which they got all the heat in the world for, by the way, on their approach on the last drive of that Dallas game to play for that tie. Matt LaFleur knew that he was going to lose that football game if he did not go for it on 4th down. So while I don't think this is, clearing his name of all of his wrongdoing so far this year, this is, in my opinion, Mason, a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, if that's like the new approach, because it hasn't been that always in the past, right? Like, he's not afraid of going on for it on 4th down, but sometimes in those critical moments, it's like, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of fortitude to say, hey, we're going to go for this and win the game. But I love it because you kick that field goal, you're giving them the ball back with plenty of time to win the game.
3 minutes left, right?
Make them score a touchdown. And how, again, and the Arizona Cardinals moved the ball down the field and had some opportunity to potentially get it done. So had they kicked that field goal, Cardinals win that game because they drive down and they kick field goal and win.
Right.
So I love it. And I love that they go to Tucker Kraft. It's like, you have to, like, Tucker Kraft did what he needed to do. Jordan Love found him in critical moments, and the guy's just a dog. I mean, the guy is a baller. Basically on offense, it's Tucker Kraft's my G of the week, and obviously Micah Parsons on defense.
Here's my issue with it, Mason. And I know LaFleur, will get all the flowers because it worked. I hated that they called timeout to do it. because if they don't get the first down there, that timeout loses the game for them. Almost certainly.
You just wish that it would have been a foregone conclusion. They're going for it. Don't think about it.
I wish they knew on 3rd and 1 whether we get it or if they get sacked and lose 10 yards, that changes things. But if we don't get the 3rd and 1 and it's 4th and 1 and it ended up being 4th and 2, but if we don't get it, we already know the play because we've got Jordan Love, we've got Tucker Kraft, we've got Dobbs, we've got Jacobs. We know what we're going to run, and let's just do it. And I don't understand, why in whatever year this is of him coaching and whatever year this is of Jordan Love being the quarterback and whatever week this is in the season, I know all these questions have answers to them. But my point is, with all this experience built up, between all the different moving parts of this team, why don't they have that ready to go? Why are you burning a timeout? Because listen, maybe an offensive lineman slips and Love gets tackled, or maybe Tucker Kraft, maybe there's pass interference that they don't call, and it's not your fault, but you still get screwed out of that 4th down. If that timeout would have lost the game for them based on timing and what, now maybe it doesn't. Maybe something.
Thunder, I think that point of view I can get on board with.
Yeah, but
yeah,
works, so I'm
happy, woulda, coulda, oh my gosh, if they hadn't gotten it, all these bad things. I'm not for that, but I like your point of view where it was yes, clearly it wasn't the mindset right away that all right, on 3rd down, regardless of what happens, we're gonna get a first down and we're going to win this game.
Yeah, I love that mindset in general. I love that mindset in general.
But you wanted it to be done right then. Yes,
on 3rd and 1,
I agree.
Already know you're going for it. And you know the play.
So that's the next progression.
Well, what about this line here from Tucker Kraft? Also after the game, he said something that I think jarred a lot of people when they heard it first. Here is Tucker Kraft.
We just still have to play as a more cohesive unit across the board, all three. We're still leaving some plays out there on offense. Guys not necessarily being tied into aiming points, route depth. I myself, it's not about playing perfect, but just eliminating the bad. And when we can do that week in, week out, we can stack these games, stack these wins, winning on the road. We're going into another hostile game next week. So it's just important to lean on each other because these 53 guys, that's all we got.
So how do you, I assume, Mason, you can point back to a couple of old teams and you can say that was a cohesive unit. How do you continue to build that throughout a season if you are struggling to have that during the season?
We talk about the identity of team all the time, and Tucker Kraft just hit on it, right? Is just the details. That they had to combat a crew that was really had called the most penalties in the league, was very, tick-tacky. So to get through a game like that, where there's some calls that are just what is going on?
Yes.
Discipline, all that. You can't almost look at that one. Were we undisciplined at times or was that on us? But I love, and Tucker Kraft is so well-spoken and he's just so concise with what he's saying.
Yes,
we need to be cleaner and sharper and better in all phases. And then he talks about the Pittsburgh game, which I think is so funny because how many guys in that locker room now even know Aaron Rodgers? There's probably
a good point.
5 guys. So they're going to go. This
hype's more than that, but you're right. It's been 3 years now, right?
There's going to be a lot of hype around it, and they're going to be there's probably it's probably a dozen guys maybe that, and then that really know Aaron.
Who calls him Grandpa first? Who calls him Grandpa first? Does Jordan Love throw it at Grandpa?
I don't think Jordan.
No,
but maybe Unc. Yeah, he's more like
Unc. All right.
Yeah, isn't that what you call people now?
Yeah.
So back, Mason, to what Tucker Kraft's talking about. One of the biggest things issues I have there is 3 3-and-outs yesterday, including the first drive of the second half.
Yeah,
I hate 3-and-outs in general. And looking at their 3-and-outs, they had a 3-and-out after Arizona went up 6-3. And they had a 3-and-out after Arizona went up 23-20, which was a bad one in the fourth quarter. But to come out at the beginning of the half, out of the half, and go 3-and-out, that's a bad look. I think that's do something how do you have all of halftime adjustments, whatever, get your team rest, whatever it might be, and then to go 3-and-out seems like a lot for a team that is supposed to have this much offensive talent.
I agree. I think I feel
like going to the desert,
going to places like that are tough. And to talk about a team that's lost 5 games in a row as not like a horrible team, like that Cardinals team is not just awful, right?
Yeah, I agree.
They just don't know how to win,
right?
Like, and that is a big part of playing in the NFL. And so this team they played the Colts really tough. Obviously, they just played the Packers really tough. I think it's hard to go and this is a good, solid win. And we can't discount the fact that this is the Packers' first road win of the 2025 season.
They got that monkey
with
off
all
back.
The issues, with all the stuff. Josh Jacobs having a calf. He's sick. Keyshawn Nixon, not sure if he's going to be available. That holding call or illegal contact they called on Keyshawn Nixon was the worst call I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Like Marvin Harrison Jr. just ran into him and Keyshawn just jammed him. I mean, it was nothing. So I thought guys stepped up, played hard. It was one of those games. I've been in so many of those where you're just like, oh my gosh, this thing could get away from us. Let's just hold on. Let's find a way to be a better team. Yeah. They are the better team, and you have to prove that. And it's not always pretty, but offensive struggles. And I love that Tucker Kraft's saying it, because it's clearly the cohesiveness of what we might not see, right? Route depth, just being clean. So Jordan Love sees everything a little bit quicker and faster and knows and can trust his guys. So that's something that you clean up in practice every day. That's something that is on Matt LaFleur to demand at a high level that you will not be on this field and you will not get opportunities if you're not doing it the right way. And again, sometimes that's the issue with not having your number ones, not having a number one receiver, not having, who you're building that offense around. Because if you have 2 guys that aren't doing it exactly right all the time, but Jordan's still trying to spread it out to those guys. But if they're not running the right routes or doing the right things, that can be problematic. So it reared its face a little there in Arizona. And again, it's not going to get easier. They're going to Pittsburgh against a really good team that they need to have it a really clean night.
That's mad and had a mini bye, right?
Exactly.
They're coming off that loss Thursday night. 414-677-1250 is the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line. 414-677-1250. Tony in Texas is still in Arizona. Tony, what'd you see yesterday?
Okay, first of all, Mason, this is not the 2009 Cardinals. This team is not good they're playing, my man. That's not Kurt Warner and Larry Fitzgerald out there. It's 70% Packer fans. You got to beat that team down. And Mason, I know you're a little salty this morning because some guy hit a 70-yard field goal and he's got the record. Are you upset?
Great question.
No, I am not upset at all. I actually know Lucas pretty well. I sent him a text and, congratulated him. And if you see my video on Instagram, I mean, records are made to be broken. I had a 58-yard field goal was the longest kick I kicked. Now, with the guys, what they're expecting guys to kick now, that record was not going to last, much longer.
What is in that football? What is in that
I don't know.
football?
It's juice.
I think it's good from 70.
I wish I would had a try that long in Arizona at some point. I was telling these guys that I had never attempted a kick longer than 58. I went out on a watch against the Commanders one year, right before half for a 62
home
yarder.
or away, Mason?
It was away.
Okay. How's kicking in Washington?
Oh, it was tough. And it was wet and cold.
Yeah.
Operation was bad. We had to call a fire. Didn't even get to attempt it. So it's wild what's going on. But I think I can lick my wounds and say, hey, you know what? I think I hold a few other records that I can be proud of. But
there you go.
Yeah, you do.
It's awesome. I mean, it was a great kick. You always hope.
He booted it.
Yeah, he
booted it.
That was great.
One question, Mitch and Mason. What I noticed with the Packers and Mason, when there's guys coming in and out in a personnel group, I don't know how that works, but multiple times, I'm talking 3 to 4 times, guys were confused. They didn't know what was going on. That's why they burnt the timeout. They had a kicker out there. And this happened various times, offense and defense. So who sets the record straight? Is that the coordinator that says it over the headphones and I'll hang up and listen? I'm glad we got the win, but I was not impressed. I'll let you go.
That's fair.
Right.
That's fair. Thanks, Tony.
Tony in Texas. Yeah, I appreciate you. I mean, that starts in the week of practice. That starts with Coach LaFleur. That starts with the offensive coaches, making sure their guys know exactly what they're doing. And again, the issue with spreading the ball around and doing all of that, you have to depend on all of those guys being on the same page. So whenever it's not there, you see what happens. Stuff goes wrong. But then I'm a positive guy, Tony. So from the get-go, also Lucas Havrisik even having a chance at a 61-yard field goal before half was really impressive.
7 seconds left.
Yeah,
on the
I think
clock.
they started with 12, right?
No, Arizona scored.
Was it 7? They scored at 12, and then it was 7 when they. Yeah, the fact that they even got there
Dobbs
was
amazing.
amazing.
Right down, and they called timeout with 1 second left.
Like, so amazing that they even did that. So we got to kind of look at some things where it's like, all right, they made some stuff happen when they needed to. Because I think if they don't score there, like, this game is, it was kind of, momentum was definitely in the Cardinals' favor.
Yeah,
and they were feeling good. That was a big field goal before half, and I think that gave them the juice.
Right, and then they come out and go 3 and out, and I'm like, uh-oh. And again, but I think that goes more to the bigger conversation of weird things happen in Arizona, and I think the conversation we're going to get into next is about offensive play calling versus what the defense is doing, and who do we have more confidence in moving forward. We're going to do that, though, while looking at yesterday's game, because it's still Monday. It's still Packer Monday, Victory Monday, Happy Monday, whatever, Celebration Monday, whatever tag people want to put on today. I'm not into the tags. I'm into, like, let's break down what went well, let's break down what didn't go well, and let's kick Aaron's ass.
Yeah,
let's
then
look
break
at the
down
power
Monday.
rankings.
Break down Mondays. Here we go.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
I'm gonna break you down, bro.
Power ranking breakdown Mondays.
Yeah, it is.
I love you guys. He's Mason Crosby. He's Tommy Wirtz. My name's Mitch Nellis, aka Thunder. We are the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers.
Clock continues to run. 35 seconds. Arizona with 2 timeouts. They need a touchdown from the 26. There comes Parsons. Wow. His 3rd sack today.
All the num-nums for Micah Parsons yesterday. He said, Jacoby, num-num-num-num-num-num-num-num. This is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. I'm Mitch Nellis. Tommy Wirtz is here playing highlights, courtesy of Fox Sports, and Mason Crosby in his house.
Right here in the house. In my house, I guess.
Welcome
holding my
to
football.
him. He's so cool.
I'm just taking my football and going home.
Yeah. How many celebratory decorative footballs do you own?
Someone counted the other day.
42.
No, I think it was like 56.
Oh. 6.
Yeah.
Like 5, 6, 6, 7. You know.
Yeah, maybe if it was 6, 7, that would have been awesome.
You can't go 5, 6 when 6, 7 is a thing right now. Like you can't
7, 8,
do
9.
that.
7, 8, 9.
Do you have a favorite? Like, is there one that's more special, like Super Bowl or something?
Yeah,
else,
we got the Super Bowl ball. I mean, I have like the actual game balls from the game winners and like big kicks. So I have the Dallas.
So the
ball.
Dallas game, obviously. Yeah.
So like that one is up in the actual ball. So those are really cool. These other ones are not all of them are the actual game balls. They're just a normal ball that they put that on, which is so cool that the Packers do that. I mean, it's an awesome memory. It's awesome to kind of commemorate moments in history. And I look at them in my office all the time, and it's it always takes me down memory lane.
Did they give you one for 258?
I think so. I think I have one.
That one's got to be like you played the most games for the Packers. Like that's easily the coolest record, right? I mean,
that's a good one. Yeah, I have some points ones. It's funny. I have one that's like it broke. Do you know prior to my like most field goals made streak, the streak was only like 16 field goals or 15 16
for the franchise?
For the franchise.
That's a low number.
I know. And then
was
I
it
broke
Longwell or was it somebody else?
It was
Fuad Revez.
I think it was
Jan Stenerud.
Jackie.
Chris, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Chris Jackie, sure.
Yeah. So it was like I broke that, and they gave me the ball right when I broke it, and then I still made more kicks, which was kind of interesting. I'm like, why didn't you wait till I was done with my streak? And I'd rather have that ball like what the record actually is, but whatever. Beggars can't be choosers, I guess.
That's fair.
Oh.
He's Mason Crosby. Tommy Wirtz is here as well. My name's Mitch Nelson, aka Thunder. Green Bay Packers 27-23 over Arizona. They do not cover. We'll get to that tomorrow when we go through our picks, because we still got Detroit, Tampa, which we will touch on at the end of the show tonight. And we know weird things happen in Arizona. We know weird things are happening with that flight. But it's still like, whether weird things are happening or not, it still feels like I go that Tucker Kraft. You mentioned it, Mason. Like, he's so insightful. Like, he gets it. Things are not clicking on all cylinders. And granted, you don't want things clicking in October on all cylinders.
True.
And we can have a Brewers conversation about that, about when you want to peak and when you want to get hot. But it's just like, even that first drive where they go for it on 4th down, and if he just leads Dobbs, he's got him wide open, but instead he throws it like over his back shoulder, like it wasn't exactly where that ball's supposed to be. Like, just weird things happen too often to this Packers team, it feels like right now.
Yeah, it's just those moments like that. I texted y'all right when that happened because I was just like, man, like Dobbs was open. That's a weird throw for Jordan Love. Now, I think he had pressure in his face. He got hit, but it's just like, just put air under it and throw him into space. Because I mean, he was clearly behind all the defenders.
He had all the space in front of him, and it looked like Jordan just threw it to the post without seeing where Dobbs was actually going.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes it's that it almost, not that like Jordan was surprised, but it was almost like, all right, he's open. And he just kind of rushed it a little bit. It's like that those moments just need to get cleaned up. For me, I always look in that third quarter of the season. Yeah, so, we're moving closer to that.
We're not there yet.
And it's like, but once you get out of that first half of the season, I mean, that's when stuff needs to, like, you're going to show your mettle. You're going to say, all right, this is the type of team we are. This is how we operate on offense. You're not going to be able to reinvent the wheel all that much at that point. So this team needs to really find all that cleaning up space and get to a really good point come third quarter of the season.
Yeah, and yesterday Micah Parsons had some comments that he kind of feels that this defense is playing in a complementary way right now. Here is Micah Parsons after the game.
I just think we as a unit, we understand how to play off each other. I think the coverage was matching the rush today and just on every aspect. So I think it's a complementary football, you know. I think guys know how fast we're going to get to the quarterback and allow guys to sit on a little bit more routes and just trusting the pass rush. And so I just think it's a little bit of that too.
And trusting the pass rush yesterday, 6 sacks for Green Bay. It was something that looked a lot better, but it was also thanks to Arizona really being the first team to not double team Micah Parsons every time. And Micah went up against a number 6 overall pick in Paris Johnson when he was on the left tackle side. And then he did his work when he had to be on the right side too. And they're starting Mason to really utilize him on third down specifically as that mug blitzer a lot too. And they like moving him around. It feels like, I don't know if I necessarily love him from that spot. I do love Quay Walker from that spot because he's been a madman as well. But as far as complimentary football, I don't know if I necessarily fully agree with that on the defensive side from Micah Parsons.
Interesting. What is Quay Walker, like he got taken out of the game? Is like, what's the report on him?
I don't think we have any update yet on his injury status.
Talk about this ref crew being, high on calls on penalties. How do they not call a holding on against Quay Walker on that play? The running back was had both his arms locked behind his back, on his back.
Was that the first hip drop tackle we've seen called all year as well? I don't know. First of all, I'm not advocating for both of these plays to be penalties, but if that's a hip drop tackle on the Micah Parsons, if we're going to call that, and Jordan Love getting absolutely cracked was not, and the quarterback is this holy grail of the NFL trying to protect him. Also, shout out the pop-up game from Jordan Love, right?
Yeah,
that was great.
Pop-up game.
Great pop-up game.
Yeah, but, a little wry smile. He was hurting, but he gave it, you just give a little smile and you go back and you let your lineman get around you, and then you're like, whew.
If the hip drop tackle is supposed to protect quarterbacks in that situation, can we protect the quarterback fully throughout the game, or are we going to just pick and choose when we want to throw this flag?
We do pick and choose.
Choose.
Because there was another hit on Brissett. Yeah, where he was a runner, and they didn't call it on the Packers. Had he been in the pocket, it would have been a penalty.
Soft.
But because he was running,
soft.
SAWFT, soft
the entire time. That's all I'm thinking is that this is soft.
All right.
I mean, is 3 sacks in a game? Is that good?
I think it is.
It's not bad.
Mason,
all right, yeah. Just making sure that we know that's
Rashawn Gary,
that's a really good thing.
Yeah, Rashawn Gary and Micah Parsons are now tied with 5.5 sacks through 6 games. They both have 5.5 sacks. They are tied for 6th in the NFL. And they are
pretty good.
Let's see. Denver has Benito and Cooper actually have 8 and 6. Now they've played 7 games, not 6 games. They are the best pair of
Well,
sackers,
I saw that Denver though could shatter the all-time the season sack record as a team.
They're pretty sick
if
right
they
now.
stay on this pace. Yeah. So, I mean, again, if you would say, all right, Micah Parsons comes in, Rashawn Gary is going to have 5.5 sacks through 6 games, and we talked about this before. At the beginning of the season, how it's going to Micah Parsons being there is going to unlock Rashawn Gary in that space.
It certainly has, right?
And it has. I mean, to think that Rashawn Gary is almost he's close to matching his season high for sacks. I mean, he could do it in the next 3 or 4 games if he stays on this pace. So
absolutely.
So I think what they're doing is great. I mean, if you can hold a team, again, you want to hold them under 20, but a team like that, you hold them to 23 points and just kind of a weird game. Cardinals had a great plan. They were able to run the ball a little more effectively than they have, throughout the course of the season. But again, this defense just does not. They don't shy away from those moments for sure.
Mason, does Trey McBride's success worry you a little bit that a tight end was able to eat them up so much yesterday?
No, I mean, he's a great player. And I think actually he's a better player with a Jacoby Brissett type quarterback.
Okay.
It looked like he was trying to find him as much as possible. I think his skill set and just kind of what he's really good at. There were a few mismatch opportunities, just like LaFleur talked about, right?
Yeah.
Where if you get leverage and you have like some mismatch opportunities, you're going to try to take advantage of them. So that's kind of what it was there. So yeah, I mean, if you again just have one guy that can go off like that, and then you limit all the rest of it, I'm always okay with that. The guy that I'm like a Marvin Harrison Jr. Like I was texting like Nolan's like he loves him, he thinks he's great, which he is. He's a really good
player.
young receiver.
He's a good player.
I just think
that's it.
I don't think he has strong hands. I don't like. I think in that last throw, I know he had two guys on him, but like that Devontae Adams is in there. I think he catches that ball.
Yeah.
Like he had both hands on the ball.
Yeah.
And he just let it go. And he had another one earlier where, kind of a contested catch. Like I've seen it from him, Marvin Harrison Jr., where his hands have let him down in certain circumstances. And that's just something he's going to have to improve on. Grip strength, I don't know what it's going to be, but his hands let him down a couple times.
Can we talk about this right now from J.H. Bennett in the YouTube chat? We need a corner bad on this
Is Nate
team.
Hobbs not him?
Nate Hobbs has been pretty abysmal, and he was torched yesterday.
Whoever he's guarding, I feel like is wide open play after play.
Sorry, what was that? Yeah,
like whoever
Molly sent me a text. I was distracted.
Whoever he's guarding just seems open every play. Like
obviously Keyshawn's doing great.
Yeah.
Nate Hobbs, is not the answer right now. I don't know what you do though. Like what are you going to do there?
Yeah,
you paid him. You gotta roll with him, and you just hope that they continue. I do trust in Halfley to keep putting them in position to try to be successful.
They got to figure something
out. They're gonna keep like rolling coverages so that he has extra help or things like that. So I do trust Halfley, and we talked about that before. And I mean, we can carry this over later, probably with Dusty Evely, after at the 1 o'clock hour. But I think Halfley at the moment I would trust like in what he's trying to do with his defense over some of the stuff LaFleur is doing with this offensive side.
I don't know. I just feel like they're trending in opposite directions. I think after that play to go for it, I mean, 27 points is a good day on offense in the NFL. I don't hate on that day. You watch the game, and eye test shows you there are problems on the offense. That's okay.
Right.
But you watch the game, and you see the problems on defense, and you think that people are evolving, that the other coaching staffs are evolving on how to stop and how to counteract this defense for the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
And that's the problem I have. This Packers team, this is a team that we were told, hey, they can't run the football. The Arizona Cardinals stink at running the football. And then they have some guy like Bam Knight, whoever the hell that is, come in, their fifth string running back in Arizona. And he was solid all day every time he had to do something.
But it wasn't great. Like he didn't eat them up.
If Arizona was in position to win that game more than they were, I think Arizona runs the football down Green Bay.
I mean, they were
the
up
entire
23-20 with 7 minutes left.
What I worry about is, and knock on wood a couple times, is Jordan Love being healthy is a game changer for this offense. Like what he's been able to do with his legs the last couple games.
Yeah, that's true.
If he's not healthy and he's not able to run, like these games could have been different because he really made some positive plays running the football when plays break down. I just feel like some of the offensive like route trees and different things, like it's a little blah. And so like these defenses aren't having to be tested in so many different ways. Tucker Kraft tests defenses. Josh Jacobs, when healthy, tests defense, but he wasn't an option out of the backfield. They were saving him. They didn't want his calf issue to get worse. So I feel like whenever those two aren't an option, Jordan Love has to bail on some of these offensive plays, some of these pass plays, and he's doing things with his legs. So let's just hope he stays healthy because, the Jordan Love of last year when he was banged up was not able to do that. And we saw some of the issues that attributed to down the stretch without him being able to be as mobile as he has been.
Sports Talk on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much, but you can count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. We've got more Packers talk coming up at the top of the 1 o'clock hour. As Mason mentioned, Dusty Evely is going to join us and break down yesterday's game. But we do have to discuss our Milwaukee Brewers for just a moment and what Shohei Ohtani did Friday night, because obviously it was absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah.
Maybe the best performance in a single sporting competition in the history of Earth.
I don't know if definitely not maybe in baseball.
Right.
So I mean, it's the best ever in baseball.
We will discuss that, and we will discuss the offensive woes of the Brewers at the end of that season as well. We're not ready to turn the page to start looking at next year, but we just wanted to give them a little bit of their props as we really turn into football season. And Mason, I don't know if you know this or not. The NBA starts tomorrow night. Bucks play Wednesday.
There.
Yeah,
Yep.
we're like the Brewers have brought us through to the NBA season.
They got us there. They got us there.
did.
It's gonna be a big week. Yeah, Bucks start, and then the big game against old Aaron Rodgers out there in Pittsburgh. So
it's exciting.
Yeah, we're gonna have a fun week ahead.
He's Mason Crosby. I'm Mitch Nellis. Tommy Wirtz is here as well. We are the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers.
Ohtani, did he? Ohtani! Ohtani has done it again! His third home run!
Brian Anderson, TBS, Friday night, third home run of the game, 6 innings, 10 strikeouts, potentially the most dominant performance in the history of sports ever, certainly in Major League Baseball. Rick Wise in 1971 in a regular season game threw a no-hitter and hit 2 home runs. That's pretty darn good.
That's pretty good.
That's not in the clinching game of the National League Championship Series. This is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon. My name's Mitch Nellis. He's Mason Crosby. Tommy on the 1s and 2s and 3s and 4s, 6, 7. I mean, Mason, it was like Friday night we were so this weekend was one of our best friend's daughter's bat mitzvah. So Friday night we're all at the house, like, we're cutting all the stuff, like we're cutting food, we're doing food prep, we're doing the centerpieces, we're doing all the stuff, and the game's on. And we just like every time we looked up, it was Shohei was doing something else.
Yeah, that was special. I mean, the Dodgers just dismantled this Brewers team, right?
Yes.
It's just from the pitching staff to their professionalism at the plate. Freddie Freeman sometimes annoys me, but I mean, his gamesmanship, like whenever he's at the plate, is second to none. I mean, he
talk about a professional hitter.
Yeah, like calling time, like kind of taking time, like stepping into the box late, trying to like mess with the pitcher. Running the timeout as long as he can, because what the batters have to be in the box with 8 seconds on the clock.
Yeah.
So like he was playing games the whole time. So that professionalism that the Dodgers showed, I mean, it stinks. We wanted the Brewers to get the World Series, but the Dodgers proved otherwise, and Ohtani just put that nail in the coffin. I mean, that was unbelievable. I didn't think. I mean, talk about big players stepping up in big games. I mean, that was one of those moments. I mean, walked him so many times early on. And then for him to just go out and have a day like that, it's like, oh man, he's pitching. All right, we'll throw to him. Obviously, there's no way he's going to be able to bat the same way the way he's dealing out there on the plate. And sure enough, he stepped up and made that $700 million contract worth it. And I saw the Dodgers basically paid for his contract through this season with all of the endorsements and all the deals and all the merchandise and all the things that they did. So. Dodgers hate them for all you want to hate them for, but they know what they're doing over there.
Yeah, first 1 seed to be swept in a 7-game series since the 2004 Cardinals. That was a fun one to listen to and read up about. On top of that, if we are comparing this to dominance in any sporting event, Chamberlain's 100.
Yeah,
like that's probably where I go to first.
Dion had a Monday Night Football game once where he had a punt return for a touchdown, a pick six for a touchdown, and caught a touchdown.
Yeah,
but it was also against like a 4-12 Giants team.
Yeah. Well, what about over the weekend? It might not even
moment like this.
It might not have even been the most impressive thing over the weekend in sports. Did you guys see the D3 running back that broke the record for most rushing yards in an NCAA game?
No,
what was that?
No.
So it was
also couldn't have cared less about a D3 running back.
But hear me out. Monty Quinn at Curry College,
not Monty Ball,
broke the record. He had 522 rushing yards over Nichols College, but he only had like 20 carries. He averaged 26 yards a run.
That'd be fun to watch.
Awesome.
And had 7 touchdowns in that game too. Let's start this narrative that Shohei didn't even do the most impressive thing over the weekend.
I mean, yes, because it was against our Brewers team. Like we can try to discount it and bring him down a peg or two.
What would Shohei have done as running back again for Curry College?
Well,
on Saturday, he would have run for 700.
It's got to be the equivalent, Mason, of like a guy running for a touchdown and having a pick six in the same game, like what he did. I don't know where else you would go with that.
Yeah, well, once in high school, I had a pick six and kicked the extra point. So, is that after a celebration penalty?
Were you winded? Were you winded?
I was a little gassed because I took a shot when I got in the end zone, and then I spiked the ball on the guy that tackled me. And
got
then
the
so I
game
had to
ball.
kick an extra point from 15 yards back, but got it done.
All right, we've got Dusty Evely coming up next. We're going to jump back into our victorious Green Bay Packers. We will talk a lot more about the Brewers over the next week and weeks as we wrap up the season. But Dusty Evely, Acme Packing Company, coming up next right here on the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers.
A Super Bowl champion.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis, presented by Verizon, the #1 network in Milwaukee, on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and on the free Odyssey app.
Yeah, boy. This is the Mason Crosby Show. I'm Mitch Nellis. He's Mason. Tommy Wirtz is here as well. Mace, good weekend. Any highlights you want to share with us?
Yeah, actually I do. I got to give Elizabeth a shout out. She scored 4 goals this weekend.
NBD, baby, no big deal.
Hat trick in her first game,
let's
which
go.
she had just started last year, actually, for the first time playing like competitive soccer or like organized soccer. So she's kind of figuring it out, and I don't think she maybe has had 1 goal in that stretch. So something clicked yesterday, and she just became a goal-scoring like poacher around the net. Found 3 goals in 1 game, and then found 1 in the second. So I just the joy in her face, was so amazing. Molly, after we got back from Wisconsin, she took Charlotte, our oldest daughter, to a cheer competition in Alabama. So, we just went separate ways, had a fun little weekend, but it was awesome to see. It's always great when you see your kid just have fun. And she told everybody, because I jokingly said, if y'all don't win, you don't get lunch, and if you score a goal, I'll get you ice cream. So
did you get 4 ice creams?
Everybody got an ice cream for the hat trick. I mean, that one was deserving for everybody.
Love it. That is awesome. He's Mason Crosby. I'm Mitch Nellis. We are the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. Super excited to be on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, now with 99.7 FM WNFL in Green Bay, 93.9 The Game in Wausau, 710 The Game in Duluth Superior, and 1250 AM 105.7 FM The Fan in Milwaukee. Follow us on social media at WI Sports Radio. That's where we're on YouTube now as well, at WI Sports Radio. Joining us now on our guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law, one call, that's all. The one, the only, Dusty Evely from Acme Packing Company. Dusty, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Listen, it's a Victory Monday, and I'm talking to you fine gentlemen about football, man. I couldn't be doing any better. How are you? I
totally thought he was wearing a creamsicle hat in the back, and then it's a pumpkin.
It is a pumpkin, yeah. Fall is upon us.
Pumpkin spice latte all day.
I love it.
Nice.
I hate pumpkin spice lattes. I just want to put that out there. I want to put that out there.
Oh, pumpkin!
Just so nobody questions ever.
Pumpkin and everything. Put pumpkin in everything.
Oh gosh. Yeah. All right. I mean, Tommy, what do you feel about it?
I mean, I'm not pumpkin spice. I'm black coffee since
I am
high
too,
school,
but I'll take a pumpkin spice.
If all 3 of you had been pumpkin spice lovers, I might have left the.
You know who loves pumpkin spice? Mike McDaniel loves pumpkin spice.
God.
Like, let's be real.
He crushes pumpkin.
Aaron Glenn has tried pumpkin spice for the first time this year. Those pants are pumpkin spice pants.
That's what they do. That's the fall. You pull those pants up just a little higher after your first pumpkin spice latte.
Mace, there's a great video going around social media of like these 2 guys in their 60s, like, men's men who walk into a coffee shop and they say, we'll take 2 coffees black, 2 coffees black. And then he slips a note to the barista and it says 2 pumpkin spice lattes.
Yeah,
please.
exactly.
But he can't say it out loud. So
can't do it. I wish that was how I was, but I'm for real.
You just don't like them.
I don't like them.
Yeah, that's legit. Yeah. That's all right.
But yeah, Dusty, I do like you, and I like how you break these things down. So let's get to that.
Best segue ever.
Yeah, you like Crosby.
Give him a radio award now.
Exactly. That's the segue award of the year going to Mason Crosby. Dusty, tell us about this game yesterday. What you've seen on film as you're kind of looking at it on Victory Monday. We're breaking everything down. I'll go to a specific. Like, what did you think about the defense? Other than Micah Parsons, we know what Micah Parsons did, but who else on that defense really stood out to you and had a great game yesterday?
It was kind of up and down. I mean, I think McKinney looked good. They moved him around a little bit. Evan Williams was a bit slow on some stuff, but man, when he's like filling the gap on run plays, Evan Williams is so much fun to watch. I think some of his past stuff, maybe he's a little slow there. I think in some of that spot drop stuff when he's kind of the deep guy covering, he can be a little slow to kind of tick on some of that stuff. But him filling the gap downhill is it's so much fun to watch. mean, the line had some good moments. I thought Carl Brooks looked really, really good. But this is, I mean, I was on with you, after week 1, week 2, and I know we talked about like the defensive line and how it looks so much better than we thought it was going to look. We're starting to see some cracks there. I think some guys up front getting pushed around a little bit more. There's been some injuries and stuff. I know they worked in, Brinson a little bit, Stackhouse seen a little bit of run, and there's just not quite the stout interior there that we kind of saw through those first couple weeks. So I think we're starting to see some cracks there. So that's something like personally kind of keeping an eye on. I haven't got a chance to go through all of the defense yet. It was a weird day yesterday. I didn't get until very, very late, and the NFL site's been slow on the film stuff, but that's been one of the things so far. Like I think Cooper is still just an agent of chaos. He's going to miss some. He's going to make some plays. We're just crashing around. So he is just. I love watching him. I thought Quay had another good day, but that interior defensive line that we kind of had concerns about before the season, then after week 2 was like, oh man, the defensive line looks good. That's a spot that to me still has still a little bit of concern going forward, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And we talked about earlier too, like Micah Parsons being put into that like mug spot on third downs. Especially it seemed like this game even more so. I don't know if that was with Van Ness out or just what they saw and what they're trying to do. Obviously, he's like an instant pressure in the middle of those in that offensive line. So like I get it. But then it also, it frees up Quay Walker, frees up Rashawn Gary. There were 6 sacks yesterday, which is insane. What do you foresee them doing kind of moving forward with that? If Van Ness is having a little longer, out with this injury, especially going against a savvy quarterback like Aaron Rodgers coming up this week, with what you saw last game, like, do you see that same plan moving forward, or do you see him making some adjustments?
I could see kind of like the same plan with some adjustments. I mean, one of the biggest quarterbacks I've given the Packers issues so far this year, and Brissett hit some just outstanding throws down the field. But one of the biggest trends so far this year has been guys getting the ball out of their hands quickly on some of those slants, some of the short stuff, and like that's what we know Rodgers wants to do. I mean, he's always been very good quick game, but this year specifically, he's just been getting out of the ball out of his hand really, really quick. So I think having him in that kind of mug spot where you can kind of drop, where you can do some different stuff. I could see this is not something they've done a lot of. Like a lot of the zone blitz stuff when you're dropping those defensive linemen off the line to take away some of the quick stuff. I wouldn't be shocked if we see some of that worked in maybe a little bit more. Not so much like the mug and drop, just as much as replacement kind of stuff. And Rodgers is so good at that. Like he can still beat you there anyway, but kind of taking away the quick stuff over the middle. I think having Parsons as that mugger over the center, I think is a way you can drop Carl Brooks off the line from the middle if you've got if you've got kind of a twist off the middle, some of that stuff. So I'd be curious to see if they work that in a little bit more. I mean, Crosby was one of those guys. Instant pressure in the middle, instant pressure everywhere. That guy was everywhere yesterday. Jonah Williams just could not do anything against him. But we talked about, I think, early in the season with probably be a little simpler, and then as he goes on, they probably work in some of the mug stuff. I think we're starting to see that. So I think that's going to be part of their plan. And I think against Rodgers, if you can get to some more of that kind of zone stuff, and you're dropping someone off the line, but you got a twist inside with Parsons, I think that's a way you can attack the Steelers team.
I would love to see Micah drop into coverage a couple times, honestly, because I don't want my boy Aaron to have a rough night necessarily. Just, love the guy, but that is probably his Achilles heel. Like there were some years where those were the only interceptions he threw, right? Where a linebacker would show blitz or be in a spot that he didn't recognize him, and then he'd drop underneath a quick hit route, right? So I'm sure Hafley has all that film. He's going to be diving in deep. I cannot wait for this upcoming week. But I do want to shift to offensive side of the ball while we have you.
Yep.
And, and we talked about, a lot of the issues, some of the things that were going on. Tucker Kraft had some comments about getting to the details, doing some of that work.
Yeah.
What did you see anything in particular that, just kind of led to some weird 3 and outs in that game that they haven't had? It feels like they haven't had a ton of 3 and outs. And some of the drives too, they were having to convert third downs a lot, fourth downs a lot. Like it was a tough sledding. So what did you see on the offensive side of the ball yesterday? That might've been a little different than what they've done throughout the course of the season.
Yeah, I mean, up front, they kind of had some issues. I know Banks kind of missed some, and he got some free rushers, and that kind of messed with some of the line stuff there. I think Jordan Morgan had a pretty good day, but up front, I think they did fairly well, but they let some guys through a handful of times. And then there were just some of those third downs. I know there was one that was just hadn't seen it in a while. Guys running into each other. It was like they ran a lot of quick game in this game, like a ton of. They played, they ran like stick, like the 2 little 5-yard outs to it. I think they ran that 3 times all season. They ran it like 8 times this game. I think that was one of the plans, was just get the ball out quick. We're going out there. I think the Cardinals were 9th in the league, giving up yards after the catch coming into this game. I think when in question, they play that funky defense. We're getting the ball out quick to the perimeter, and like you've got to be on it when you're running a quick game. That stuff's got to be 3 steps out. And there was at least one instance where Golden and Williams kind of ran the same route, but they're kind of bending into each other. So they got to the break and they're both just kind of hit each other, and that threw it off. And I think that was a 3rd down, and Love wanted to go there and it wasn't open. And I can't remember what play that was. I think it ended up being incomplete. I think he had to come back to Kraft late, and that's the one that like kind of hit the dirt like 5 yards in front of him or something. Yeah. Pressure in his face at that point. I mean, that's such a small little moment, but on 3rd and 5, now it's done, or you're going for it on 4th and 5. And it wasn't like, that was the only point I remember seeing like guys run into each other, but there were certainly moments where the timing was just slightly off on that. And that's gotta be, the break's gotta be right, man. And it wasn't even dudes getting bullied off the line, which will happen sometimes. You know, just the break point was maybe a yard further than it was supposed to be. So Love's ready to throw, and he's got to pat the ball instead of releasing that. So some of the details on that stuff, I think we saw a little bit more, but I don't, it's one of those things where like, I was going to say a loss. This wasn't a loss. This was a relatively close win, but are there anything here that like portends failure going forward? And since they run so little quick game like that, I don't think that's like a major issue going forward. But since they leaned on it so heavily here, I think those details meant a little bit more in this game, and they weren't quite there.
Dusty, you just made the point. Dusty Evely joining us here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. And you said about what could portend, negatively. What did you see from the offense that could portend positively? What did you like that you saw yesterday?
Man, Dobbs just continues to be so good. He the little things. Every season he has improved on something. And this year it's been the hands catch has been a little better. He had I think it was like a deep curl on like a 3rd and 7 or something, like a 3rd and long, that he like just a little bit came back to the ball, reached his hands out. They couldn't get it, and he came back to it. And he's always been a little iffy with his hands, but he's been really good there. I think that's been good. I think how they've used Kraft, lots of kind of 2 tight end sets, kind of the chip release stuff, Kraft's feel for zone, Kraft's feel for following his blockers, I think has been really, really good, like in terms of that short stuff. And I mean, the biggest one to me, I think just Golden getting more and more comfortable in this offense. I think the offensive line, I think is going to be a little bit of a question in terms of, I don't think they can do what they want to do in the run game. So that's going to be a little iffy, I think. But I think Golden getting more comfortable, both with blocking and receiving, feel for the routes, feel for all that. He feels like he's getting better every single week. So,
but Dusty, do they even does Matthew Golden have to get more comfortable in this offense, or does Green Bay have to get more comfortable with Matthew Golden in this offense? Because they went to him 3 times in the first drive and he had 1 catch after that.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, I think it is like they will have him on stuff that it doesn't get looked at either because it's a deeper one or it's later in the progression and pressure gets there or something. I was at 2 games ago, maybe the last game, when they worked him in early and often, and that was really cool. I would like to see more of that, but there is still times the timing on him is off. He is not a big guy, and I think his feel for getting off the line at times, he'll get kind of knocked around a little bit. So there's times where maybe he is the first read and he gets bumped off just enough that Love has to move off him quickly enough. So I think part of that is like comfort in the offense, comfort just in the NFL, but I think they're getting better at kind of getting him free releases and all that stuff. So I do think it's a combination of both. But the way they've been working him in, the way they're getting him on, like some of that kind of quick release, using speed across the formation, and so much of teams they've been playing, a lot of them like taking away the middle of the field, and that's killed them a little bit. So I think they're trying to get him a little bit more involved in the perimeter. So I think we're starting to see that. But I mean, I'm with you, dude. I would love to see like the big breakout game from him, and I felt like we were there, and it's taken like that tiny step back. But I think he's still doing really good stuff, even if there's still kind of a couple weird moments here and there.
We got Dusty Evely with Acme Packing Company joining the Mason Crosby show here. I just want to ask, we talked about this earlier, the 4th down play. Obviously, they ran out to Havrisik. They looked like they were going to kick it. Love was not happy, felt like they should have gone for it. And they call a timeout, end up getting the play. Thunder made a good point earlier, though. He was up. It's like, you should just wish they would have known if they were going to go for it or not. I mean, It's 3rd and 1, 3rd or 2. Like, just have that plan already in place. What did you think about the decision? Obviously, it worked out. Just in totality, how did you feel about that whole decision to go for it on fourth down?
No, I mean, I'm pretty much always in favor of going for it on fourth. I mean, not if it's like, 4th and 13 or something like in the middle of a game. But I mean, this is something I know I'd kind of been harped on in the offseason where like last season, the fourth down plan was not great. They weren't aggressive. They didn't go for it very much, but like how that, I think we may have talked about that as far as like how Parsons may have changed the approach on offense in terms of like what you can do. And I think it's a holistic plan of when you go into a game, knowing when you call first down, knowing when you call second down, certainly when you call third down, that we're going for it on fourth. Like you're not calling that third down play saying, all right, man, like we might not go for it on fourth. We're going to see how this goes. You're calling third down plays to go for it on fourth or not. So ultimately, I like the decision to go for it. I don't like burning a timeout and then having I'm of two minds about it because I do like, if you're going to do it, I like being able to talk about it, think about it, go through it. What do we want? And ultimately they got to a really good play off of that. So that's good.
Yep.
But I do like, even on second down, all right, man, this part of the game, where we're at on the field, if we don't get it, because you know what your second down plan is going to look like. You probably know what your third down plan is going to look like. Depending on how these play out, you should know on second down. You certainly know by the time you're lining up on third down, are we going for on fourth down or not? And so that's been something. I mean, honestly, I think LaFleur has been better at this year. This was a weird moment. I don't know what that was, but I think you need to go into that. That's an overall plan, and it wasn't there. I like that they made the right decision eventually, but I would like if they kind of had that in the pocket already.
Dusty Evely, Acme Packing Company, joining us on this Victory Monday, Winning Monday, Breaking Things Down Monday, Everything Monday. If Detroit beats Tampa tonight, Monday, it means the Packers are the 1 seed in the NFC Monday. Let's go. Dusty, thank you so much for jumping on today.
Appreciate you, fellas. Thanks for having me.
Thanks,
absolutely. He is Dusty Evely joining us here on the guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. From one kicker to another, the kicker will introduce a kicker coming up next. Kicker. And I'm excited. He's the new record holder for the Green Bay Packers, the longest field goal in a single game. He's got a long way to go to be the all-time franchise leading scorer, though.
Hey, but we got to give love where and credit where it's due. So I'm a celebratory passing of the torch of one record to another.
Yes. So that is next right here on the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers.
Yes, sir.
from the right hash. Lucas Havrisik from 61, and the kick is good. A new Green Bay Packers franchise record, a 61-yard field goal by Havrisik.
Wow is correct. Quite the kick yesterday to end the first half and to give the Packers a little momentum after Arizona had kind of exerted its will toward the end of that first half to go up 13-3. Even 13-6 felt a little bit better watching that game from home. I'm guessing it felt a little bit better on the field as well. My name's Mitch Nellis. He's Mason Crosby. We are the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon. And Mason, I'm going to turn it over to you, my friend. Who do we have with us?
Well, yes, honor joining the show. We have Lucas Havrisik, the kicker for the last 2 weeks for the Green Bay Packers, stepping in, doing an awesome job. Lucas, are you there? I appreciate you jumping on.
Yes, sir. I'm here. How y'all doing?
Doing great. Well, I hope that the Green Bay Packers will give you a game ball with, the printed franchise record, new franchise record holder, 61-yard field goal. I have a ball here that has the old record on it, but, I think that one I'm just going to go play in the yard with the kids, throw it around a little bit. But walk us through that play in that moment, 7 seconds left. Packers have the ball on offense. Get it to a spot where you get a chance to kick that kick. Just walk us through that moment and how special that was for you.
Yeah. So, I saw we had 7 seconds and one timeout, and I was like, shoot, we might have an opportunity here. And you always got to be obviously situationally aware, and got one kick into the net, and I was trying to get a second kick, and then they called a timeout because the play had happened already. I was like, oh, we're about to be up. And then Dan was like, come on, let's go. And I was like, oh, shoot, we're going. And then I got up, and I didn't really know. I saw the half line because of the logo. So I was like, all right, 61 or 60 plus. And then, just got into my routine, chose a line. Luckily, it was indoors, so it was a little easier. And then Matt and Dan did a great job. And, hit a really good ball. So I'm just thankful went in.
Heck yeah, man. It's never easy on kickers, even whenever you're just in one place for a while. But, you've had a journey, and, you've stepped in here these last 2 weeks. You've come into Green Bay, done an excellent job. They've leaned on you quite a bit here in these first 2 games. Just tell us about your kicking journey and how it's led you to this point, and kind of that mindset of just resetting, refocus, like what you said when you ran out there for that kick. You were in your process, and then it's like, all right, it's time to go. Let's get this thing going. Just walk everybody through what that's like coming into a situation like this, going out and the expectation to go and perform.
Yeah, it's been nuts. And, I had heard from a couple guys how it is, with the NFL journey, and there's only one guy per team and all these things. And the guys that are in are amazing, obviously. And the guys that are trying to get in, it's really hard. But when you get your opportunities, you got to make the most out of them. So, I had an opportunity with the Rams in 23, didn't work out. And there was a hard time after that. It hit me hard. And I was like, it just made me look at a lot of things different. Like, what could I have done better? How can I learn from this? All these things. And then, 24 last year, had a couple workouts, did well at pretty much all of them. And then was with the Bills 3 weeks. And then they got cut because they didn't have roster spots. And then didn't get a futures contract. So I did the UFL. The UFL did well. And then, coming up on 2025 season for the NFL, had 3 workouts this year, Giants, Indy, and then Packers. And it was crazy because I worked out for Indy on Tuesday and then the Packers on Thursday. I think that's right, or maybe Friday. So that same week I had 2 NFL workouts, and they kind of told me the situation and everything. I was like, okay, cool, be ready. So overall, I've grown a lot, which is how to control the emotions and all the stress and pressure. It's like all that stuff's going to be there 1,000%. You just got to learn how to manage it and use it to your advantage the best way possible if you can. So, it's been a crazy journey. Was there another question I missed?
No, that was awesome.
That was great. Yeah.
We got Lucas Havrisik, the new record holder for the longest field goal in Packers history, talking to the old record holder, the old man record holder, the old has-been,
old
but
gray beard.
But I feel like what you're talking about, it's almost like not to compare what we do to any kind of military, but it's like you have a go bag. Like in this situation, you're just like, all right, if I get that call, I'm ready to go. Like you said, worked out on Tuesday at Indianapolis, worked out on Thursday for the Packers, got signed and played in the game. I mean, it's fast and furious. And now the expectations in the NFL for kickers is higher than it's ever been. I mean, that 61-yarder, you hit that amazing, but now that expectation is that ball needs to go in. So how do you just tell everyone listening, like, how do you clear your mind? How do you focus in on just being in that moment and executing the task at hand?
Yeah, I mean, it happens fast, and you just got to have your mind really focused. And I think I struggled, honestly, with focus at a younger career in college, especially. Like, just worried about things that didn't help me make my kick.
Yeah.
So in my process from preparation, I'm like, what can I do to help me make my kick? Like, being present, whatever, like just focusing on the task. You're kicking the ball through an upright. Like, that's as simple as it is. And you got to just, try to numb everything around you and just really focus on what you're doing. So all the process and routine, though, for me has helped a lot with the going about it, because I honestly didn't have great warm-ups. Like, to be honest, it was pretty rough. And
sometimes those are the best days, man.
Oh, yeah. So I was texting Matt Gay after the game. We were talking about it. He's like, yeah, man, I think he had maybe maybe in one of the Super Bowl games he played, he had a bad warm-up, I think, but ended up having a good game. So it's like you always have to have this ultimate confidence no matter what happens, like no matter what circumstance. Even if you miss or make a kick in a game, like let's say you miss one, like next kick, and like you stick to the same process and do whatever you got to do to make the kick. So it's a crazy position, as you know, you did it so long and it's such an elite level.
True.
And it's amazing, but it's just such an interesting position. So I've learned a lot over the years and still trying to learn. So
Lucas Havrisik joining us here on the guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Lucas, you mentioned the UFL last year. You weren't just in the UFL. You led the league in field goals made for the Arlington Renegades. And I just wonder if you could share with us a little bit of like what that experience was playing in the UFL, learning there, and working toward the goal of getting back to the NFL while spending the season in the UFL.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. It was actually a lot of fun. I was honestly pretty timid to do it because I just wanted to be in the NFL, and like I knew this was good for film maybe or whatever, could hopefully help me get back. And you see guys like Aubrey, Jake Bates, Andre Schmidt, the guy in Cleveland. It's given a lot of opportunities to kickers, given them a lot of opportunities. So I went in and, I had some frustrations with things, but I was like, you just got to make your kicks. And I did have a lot of fun. And then some crazy stuff, though, like you share flights with the other team, going to away games. Like, that was crazy. But it was cool because you see guys really, like, trying to work their way back up. And some guys obviously were in the league. And it just gave me a different perspective, especially, like, when you're in the league, what you have. And, like, you got to do what you got to do to keep your job. So it was a good perspective shift for me, just seeing, like, I don't know, from a different side of like pro sports, I guess, or semi-pro sports, whatever you want to say. But yeah, it was awesome. I learned a lot there. Just had a lot of fun, and yeah, it was crazy as well.
Lucas, you've been, you've been on a few teams. You've kind of, made a journey around. Like, compare some of those other spots and like what now being in Green Bay for 2 weeks. Well, not even 2 weeks, 10 days or so. What your feel is and like what that locker room, what the culture. Do you get a unique feel from being in that Green Bay locker room versus some of the other spots you've been?
Yeah, I think it's really important to have that culture in the locker room and have good team chemistry. I definitely think they're pretty good at that here. Guys welcome in pretty well, and some guys still don't know a name, but that's just normal. Like, I don't know half the guys' names still too, and it's pretty funny. But yeah, I think it's super important to have that culture, and Green Bay is amazing. The fan base, the people, the team, the coaches, the staff, everyone's just amazing. So I'm just super thankful to be here.
I think Tommy, you got a question for Lucas?
Yeah, it is the Lucas Havrisik. Sorry, it's the Mason Crosby Show. We are presented by Verizon, official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. Lucas, you kind of went semi-viral with your comments of that you were going to be a substitute teacher if kicking didn't work out here. I wanted to know if these last 2 weeks you have ripped up your substitute teacher license and you're ready to just take this full force now into your performance here. You know that there's a guy in Green Bay who they plan to have kick, but you can have some sort of vibe that your journey doesn't seem to be over as an NFL kicker now.
Yeah, that's so funny. I think that was taken a little out of context.
And they always are, buddy. They always are.
Oh man, I finally experienced it. But yeah, rookie year was only with the Colts for a week, and then I didn't have a lot of money, so I ended up getting 2 jobs. I was like this coach for after-school programs and a substitute teacher. So I had done it in 22, 23. I was with teams the whole year. 24. Moved back to Tucson to train. I was kind of everywhere, but I moved back to Tucson to train at my school, U of A. And then I was like, dude, I need a job because it's just so boring, like being a free agent. Like I had too much time to think. So like any work for me would have been good. And like, I don't think it'd be a career path for me into teaching. Love these kids, but like it was a good perspective for me being with the kids and just trying to, be a light in their day or whatever. Cause you know how it is in school. I mean, I didn't like school all that much, to be honest, but when you had a substitute teacher, it was great. So, I was just trying to be a fun teacher with them and told them, I used to play with this team and that team. They're like, no, you didn't. I was like, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. And then
I know you're right.
So good.
So yeah. And then beginning of this year in Tucson, I was still subbing in 2025 and then had to go to UFL. And I didn't know I was going to play in the UFL until January. So I think early January, I decided to do UFL, but I was still teaching just to like do something because I had way too much free time. And it was fun and just to get me on a little more schedule routine because just having that much free time is not fun. And so just to do that, literally to stay busy. So in a nutshell, like in Cleveland, I mean, I ain't want to substitute teach, but like I'll do it just to be busy, So yeah.
And then one more. Is this the longest kick of your whole career? Right? Did you do anything like this in high school, Lucas?
This is my longest kick in college. I hit a 57-yarder twice and had the record. And then Tyler Loop, the Ravens kicker now, he broke it with I think a 61 last year. So I was like, dang. Tragic.
Do you know
another record?
Do you know your longest kick at sea level though? That one was at 1,100 feet elevation, and I was wondering if you've known your longest kick you ever had at sea level, Lucas. Do you know that off the top of your head?
Don't play into this, Lucas. They're trying to troll me a little bit.
just wondering. Have you ever kicked in Miami? What's the longest kick you have in Miami, Lucas?
Not a 58-yarder.
Never kicked in Miami. Never kicked in Miami.
All right. Just wanted to see if every kicker knows their longest kick at sea level or not. All right, that's all I have.
Well, Lucas, really appreciate you jumping on, giving us a few minutes. I wanted to have you on and formally just say congratulations. It's an awesome moment. Kicking in the NFL, kicking in any form or fashion is not easy. Underappreciated at times. My good buddy is Andrew Brandt, and he always talks about kickers are like lawyers. You never like them or want one until you really need a good one. So I really appreciate you stepping up, doing your job, doing it at a high level. And hey, you pushed me down. Like I had all these. My name was on that record thing, and now you'll be just right there, capping the top, and I'll just be looking up to you. But congratulations, bud, and enjoy this journey. It's a special time, and whatever happens, if there are teams that might need some guys. If McManus is coming back into the fold and is feeling healthy, let's stay fresh and ready. And good luck with all the future endeavors, bud.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
That is Lucas Havrisik, current Green Bay Packer, the new record holder for the longest single field goal in Green Bay Packers history. Mason Crosby had it at 58. It is now Lucas Havrisik at 61. And I think he does have a future. I think we can acknowledge it might not be with the Green Bay Packers. But the way he kicked the past couple of weeks, he is absolutely going to get opportunities. I mean, if I'm the New York Giants,
New York Giants should be calling
I
right
literally
now.
would call the Packers right now and offer a 7th rounder because you don't want to let this kid get to waivers. Somebody's going to scoop him up before the Giants get him, and the Giants need a kicker.
Yeah, this is like what Ryan Longwell feels like, Mason, by the way, too. And you're talking about all the records and then like just getting pushed down. Like this is how Ryan Longwell feels when he talks about his kicking journey.
And again, that's why I'm doing it how I'm doing it, because Ryan Longwell taught me like really, how to pass that on with class, right? And like gracefully, because it's an amazing thing to be able to play this game and to play it as long as Ryan and I did. Somebody's going to step in and like break one of your records or do something that you never got to do. So it's just an awesome opportunity to take the time and just say like, hey, that was sweet. I mean, kicking a 61-yarder is awesome in any form or fashion. And I just wish Lucas all the best. If I'm the Giants, and if he's on, and Lucas is on practice squad, so the Giants could try to pluck him off practice squad, and the Packers, if McManus isn't fully cleared yet, they're going to have to make a decision potentially, on how they either block and protect him on the practice squad, or they might have to bump him up to the active roster if they're not ready to let him go yet. So he's in a really good spot. He's done a great job for these first 2 weeks, and it's wild. I saw the list of kickers since I've been there, and then like all of a sudden now they have 2 on the roster that can play in the NFL. So they didn't get it right for a couple years, but now they have kickers of plenty there in Green Bay.
That's the Packers way, right? Like just for all those years, like can't figure out the kicking situation, and now it's like, oh, now we have too many. Like what are we doing here? Like that's exactly the first thought that popped into my head after you drill 161 yards, under that moment too. Like that's where my brain went, Mitch.
Well, Lucas also sounds like a great kid.
Oh, yeah.
Like good head on his shoulders. I love that he was sitting around bored and he's like, I got to do something. And then making fun of the kids or the kids making fun of him. That was great.
This is like
I'm still a better golfer than he is. We played golf out in LA.
All right, we're gonna we'll get him on again.
We'll get him on now.
Yeah, we'll have to talk golf.
That's the funny part about this whole thing is now like people in the NFL are my age and you guys are old now, and to hear him talk how I would talk with my friends like just blows my mind after as well. Tragic is such a Gen Z word. Like
such
just
a Gen Z
it is. This is like, oh, that was tragic. Like that's exactly how how we would talk. Yeah.
Good for him. Good for him. And fun to catch up. And I never get tired, Tommy, of kicker moments on this show. It's like Mason, you could get any kicker on and like I would be enthralled by the conversation because like the different nuances and the different things that you guys talk about that I have no idea about and wouldn't even think to ask. And it's like, you guys just make it interesting. And it's like, I think that's I don't mean to pay you a compliment because I never would, obviously.
I wasn't listening because compliments are so foreign to me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the way you connect with, a young kicker here and we've had, retired kickers and current kickers and the conversations always can't miss because of your experience.
It's a mindset
because what you bring to it.
Like he said, he was like, I was trying to get a second kick in on the sideline, but like everything was happening so fast. I called timeout. It was like, 30-second timeout. It was quick right before half. And it's just like, all right, it's time to roll. Like you just like, I know how many times that has happened, right? Where it's just like, all right, yeah, would I have liked another one? But sometimes that's the best situation. And I think that's probably where it worked out for him. He goes, hits another one in the net. If it didn't feel perfect, then you're going onto the field like, all right, now I got to do something on the 61-yarder. But he didn't have time to think. He went out there, rolled out, and did a great job and made a kick. So,
are kickers the second most mentally strong or the most mentally strong player on the field?
Ooh.
I think as far as like having to stay locked in mentally, like the whole game without as many reps, I would say we're one of the top mentally.
It's either you or quarterbacks, right?
Yeah, I mean quarterbacks though get a rhythm and get some different things but they are savvy in the mental side of things. So yeah, quarterbacks and kickers definitely the most mentally strong positions on the football field.
All right.
He's Mason Crosby. He's Tommy Wirtz. Again, our thanks to Lucas Havrisik for joining the show. He was on the guest hotline. Powered by Gruber Law, one call. That's all. When we come back, Mason's Extra Points. There's a lot going on tonight that we got to look forward to and pay attention to. And we will capture that all when we come back as part of Mason's Extra Points. Mace, you ready?
I'm ready. Yep. Let's just have a little weekend rundown.
Let's do this. This is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon.
What's on Mason Crosby's mind today?
Now I'm thinking.
It's time for Extra Points, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis.
Tell me what's on your mind.
On the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
All right. What a great show. It is Monday, so it's Victory Monday. It's been an awesome weekend. Hey, and guys, we have something to celebrate. I think tonight is the last doubleheader for Monday Night Football.
Thank God.
All right, we're almost out of it. Yeah, we're almost out of the woods here. And a big one coming up tonight, Lions versus Buccaneers.
And that's a 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
That's
start.
an early one.
Yeah, exactly.
The late game is stupid. No one in Seattle cares about football tonight.
Can we hot take that Thursday Night Football might be better than Monday Night Football? Because
I'm
ready for
Thursday's
that.
horrible. It's just been good this year.
Dude, Thursday night rocks this year.
Oh, Vikings
this
Chargers
year.
this week.
Yes.
All right. We get to see Justin Herbert on primetime.
On Thursday?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, good.
Yeah.
Throw that crap game on Thursday. No one cares.
In general, Thursday's been terrible. So, like over the years, this year it's been great. We'll see if that continues.
Do you have to burn those uniforms, Mason, because of how terrible they looked in those uniforms?
Those uniforms were awful.
Yeah.
Those were so bad.
Mhm.
Like those shouldn't be allowed in an NFL football game.
Agreed. Like, were those worse than when the Jaguars just wore puke?
The puke colors? Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. They were bad.
Yeah.
Like when they turned it on, I was like, what am I watching? Like that doesn't even look like a sanctioned NFL type uniform. Like it looked like something you would just put together on a pickup league football game, like out on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah,
So,
yellow's a tough color to wear. It just never looks intimidating at all.
Yeah,
Like you
exactly.
are.
Mace, who you got in Game 7 tonight?
oh man,
You
I
know
want
it's
the
there's
Game
Game 7.
Mariners. Yes, I want the Mariners to win.
You want the Mariners? Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'm
kinda
rooting for
do too.
Seattle. Yeah,
I kind of do. No,
It's
Tommy.
surprising from Team Canada over there, Mitch.
Oh,
I
relax.
mean,
Seattle's basically Canada also.
you're rooting for Toronto. Yeah,
No, I'm not. I'm Seattle.
I'm telling you right now, I am maple syrup Tommy tonight.
Oh,
yeah. I don't want the Mariners. If the Mariners win their first World Series,
so that's your
Brewers?
feel.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
That's fair.
Don't like it. Don't like it.
So you're in the camp though now. You want the Dodgers to win the World Series, right? To knock the Brewers out.
Otani. Yeah, let's just root for Otani. I root for the game of baseball. It's better for the game of baseball if Otani wins.
Mason,
That's
I did
true.
mention it while Dusty was on at the very end. If Detroit beats Tampa tonight, the Packers are the 1 seed. The Packers will have the number 1 record in the NFC.
Power
and
ranked.
It's weird. No, not power ranked. Actual rankings. Actual.
Oh, those are
standings.
the actual rankings.
Yes,
not
the
the
actual
okay.
The
I got you.
standings.
non-powerful
Right.
rankings.
Yeah.
But
The
like-
real rankings, that doesn't make any sense. We're just here for power ranking opinions.
But
the whole
isn't
time.
that weird to think about? Like 2 amazing weeks, losing at the Browns, tying Dallas, having 2 very not very impressive wins, that they'd be the number 1 seed in the NFC if Detroit can just win at home tonight?
This NFC is tough. I mean, this whole NFL season. I mean, these are like it seems like week in and week out. Like you have to go out there and just grind it out and find a way to win. Like it's going to be that way this whole season. The parity in the NFL is like at an all-time high. I'm excited for this game. I'm glad it's at 6:00. That means I'll probably stay up for the whole thing. Which Tommy, yes, like I know you said Lucas is young, you related to him, but I also have 5 kids, so that makes me go to bed a little earlier. But it was Mitch and I had the Lions, and Tommy has the Baker Mayfield, not the Bucks. He's just rooting for Baker Mayfield.
No, I have Baker Mayfield in the points.
Yeah.
Yes,
At least you stayed true. I'm a poser. I said I love Baker Mayfield, and then I just jumped off of that bandwagon as quick as possible.
Yeah. I mean, it's all right. I will be riding with my boy Baker, and he separates himself as the NFL MVP favorite tonight.
So you don't want the Packers to be the 1 seed. Okay. That makes sense too. Yeah.
Matt LaFleur's
rooting for Canada, rooting for the Packers not to be the 1 seed.
Matt LaFleur's talking at 3:00 today, so we'll get some updates from him. You saw Billy Napier was fired at Florida over the weekend. Luke Fickell still has a job though, and Chris McIntosh came out today with a letter that basically had Fickell's back. But I think there's a chance they all get fired at the end of the year.
Through the season, yes. Yeah, like they're just staying the course because there's no reason to fire him right now. Just stay the course and then get rid of him.
34.5 point dogs this week.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And Oregon, we'll see if they step on the gas the way Ohio State did not really do this past Saturday.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys.
He's Mason Crosby. I'm Mitch Nellis. Tommy Wirtz is here too. The Mason Crosby Show is presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of our Green Bay Packers. We had a great Monday. Everybody have a great Monday night, and we'll see you tomorrow.
All right, later.
I was